Hi everyone, welcome to Chatterbox and Workshops. I'm Steve from High Flyer English, and I have with me three of my learners. We've just finished the Chatterbox session. We have many more participants than these three, but we thought we'd just take a brief opportunity to tell you what our workshops are about. And these three can speak openly. I've told them. First of all, let them introduce themselves. We have Alma.
Hello, everybody. I'm Italian and I live in Rome, and I've been speaking English for almost all my life so far, even though it doesn't always show. And I've been following Steve's Chatterbox for the last 2 years, I would say, and I'm quite enamored with the whole idea of having these weekly sessions with Steve and the team.
And Alma was the founder member, basically, the team,
Mm.
our little family. Jan.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Hi, I'm Jan. I'm from Czech Republic, and with help of my friend and teacher Steve, I was able to pass C1 Cambridge exam. So I highly recommend this Chatterbox because it helps you a lot.
And Cinzia.
Hi everyone, hi Steve and classmates. I'm Cinzia, another Italian, but I don't live in Italy, I live in Spain, the north of Spain. And I'm not a founder of Chatterbox, but I'm quite an old learner in the group because I joined you last year already.
Oh,
And as Alma said, yes, already a year has passed. And I really look forward to seeing you every Sunday in our Chatterbox and to meet this lovely bunch of people.
yes,
And
Cinzia is so busy. Unfortunately, she can only come on Sundays, but I love
yes,
having her here. And
thank
Cinzia,
you.
she lives in Spain, in the Basque Country, but comes from Italy, in particular from Sardinia, from Cagliari.
Yes,
And I love
yes.
Sardinia because that's where I used to work. Okay. All right. Three of you. Tell everyone what we do, the kind of things that we focus on, the materials that we use, and what do you enjoy or what you hate, if you like. But yeah, basically, what do we do in the Zoom workshops?
First of all, we have a warm-up introduction. We revise what we learned in the previous sessions. Basically, we learn lexical chunks, so collocations, phrasal verbs, and idioms. And we use one of the books in the series of advanced collocation in use from Cambridge, or advanced phrasal verbs, idioms in use. And we work we do like one unit together. We go through the text and then we do the exercises in a breakout room. And that is the part I like the most because it's when we can challenge each other and help, of course, help each other to try to find the right answers to the exercise.
A breakout room is usually a pair, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yes, the
Okay.
majority of the time, not always, but
Alma,
majority
can
of
you
the time.
explain more about lexical chunks and give some examples? I'm putting you on the spot here
Indeed.
to use an idiom, Alma. I'm putting you on the spot. So
Well, I get lexical chunks, which is, let's say, one of Steve's fixations. All right. Words which go together well in the English language, I mean, they're commonly used. And in this kind of family, we could consider collocations, sometimes phrasal verbs, idioms. But basically, what we're doing with lexical chunks is trying to get into our mindset that we should speak and put together words as a native does. So using those expressions which English kids learn in their early age, and that we try with Steve help to bring to our memories and try to use as naturally as possible. And to do that, we have not only his guidance, but lots of material, which he usually prepares for us, and it's a great plus. So we may have videos, we may have sometimes we have a specific scripts or dialogues that he creates for us, and we go through them, trying to actually feel like we are in our little bubble of England, of Great Britain, and we start in a very relaxed way, chatting and bantering using those bases, those dialogues that he creates.
Thanks, Alma. Alma, just tell us about the problem with idioms, because learners are always keen on idioms. What problems do they face with an idiom?
Well, the problem that we face as non-native learners is that we usually start studying them with a kind of enthusiasm, which is very naive. The problem with idiom is that if we don't learn and use them exactly in the right way, it comes out as very funny, I guess. So we think that we are actually meaning something, but it doesn't come through as it should.
Can you think of one? I'm putting you on the spot here again. Can you think of one off the top of your head? Off the top of your head is an idiom, isn't it? Off the top of your head.
Okay, one very like to let the cat out
To let the cat out of the bag.
of the bag, yes. Or let's see, give me some hints. Help me
Let the
out
cat out.
here.
Well, so what's let the cat out of the bag mean then?
To let the cat of the bag means to say something that you shouldn't, like a secret. It's so to let like to reveal something that you shouldn't. It's a little bit like to spill the beans. And it's a situation where inadvertently, so unwillingly, you put yourself in a tight spot, in a tight position.
Yeah. So with those two, if you change your word, instead of saying let the cat out of the bag, if you said let the dog out of the bag or let the cat out of the sack, it just wouldn't work. Or spill a bean instead of spill the beans, it would sound very odd. Jan, I'll come to you. There's something which we've done which you particularly like, if you can remember. We haven't
Ah,
done it for some time. Do
you
you?
mean the exercise with the bubbles,
The bubbles. What do you mean by the bubbles?
famous bubble exercise. Yeah, it was the native speaker languages with the erased bubbles, and we should listen and afterwards write in. So this was
So what I did was to make videos of
yes,
people,
yes,
bubbles coming out of the speech bubbles, and inside I put lexical chunks, idioms,
yeah, exactly, exactly. And
and,
first, when I've heard it,
and showed them to you. I let you listen to them first before showing you the script of
yeah, the
what
right.
it was
Yeah.
saying. So it was like a conversation that you watched.
Yeah, of course. And to be honest, I can remember these bubbles for real because it really sticks to your mind. And
And of course, you're hoping to take proficiency one day. But
yeah, one day definitely. And I don't know, I'm not sure which day, but one day. And together with Steve,
rather than saying which day sounds like whether it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, sometime in the future.
you
Okay.
see, you need a Steve around.
You could say in the near future, sometime in the near future, or sometime in the distant future. Just let me bring you all back together. All right, I've got you all back. Do you enjoy doing quizzes?
Quite a lot. Yes.
Do you find them difficult?
Yeah, I found them difficult because you challenge us on all the different lexical chunks together. They are mixed together, and you give us just the meaning of them, and we have to remember, okay, what are you looking for? A phrasal verb, okay, which one was?
I don't always
And
do that. Sometimes I give you a specific one on a phrasal verb or on a collocation. But yes, sometimes I mix them up because in a conversation, you wouldn't just be using all idioms or all phrasal verbs. So yes, I like to make life, I was going to say difficult for you. I like to
challenging.
make life challenging for you. What do you keep requesting me to do? Cinzia, because you're so busy?
I always ask you to produce podcasts because it's what I do every single day when I'm doing the house chores. And
So,
I love listening to podcasts and try to new expressions, try to listen for them in different contexts and situations. I always push you
which,
and
as you know, I've started to do. I've now got
I
officially.
really appreciate it.
But what I'm hoping also to do is to do kind of informal podcasts, which I won't publish to anyone else. But when I'm just sitting here, I think I'll have a chat to you all. Just occurred to me, I wonder if you know this, and talk off the cuff, play it by ear. I'm trying to find a way I can do that and that you can download. Do you listen to podcasts ever, Jan?
Yeah, of course. I love
I
podcasts.
never used to. I've started to now, and I find it quite enjoyable.
It's really
You
good.
don't have to watch a screen.
It's really good way how to use your time, your spare time.
Yeah.
As just said, when you are doing course or going around or something like that, or driving in a car, it's perfect
Yeah.
to do some podcast.
I mean, if you ask me what I most appreciate, anything that gives me support in terms of getting new vocabulary in context is of great help. And I particularly like when we have those sessions when we are challenged to find new ways of saying things or synonyms, for example, as you did the other day or today even, no? What does this, no, it is not only important to understand what something means. It's also important just to know how to do it, to say it differently with different registers. And this is a part which is where you really need the guidance of somebody who knows his stuff
Yes,
and knows
the
how
different
to.
register is very important, whether it's formal or informal or whatever. And sometimes, of course, we use exam material, proficiency, and advanced. And in fact, today we used Cambridge Advanced. Okay. That was quite challenging, wasn't it? Learned a lot of vocabulary there. Cinzia, can you explain what we did today?
Yes, we work on part six of the advanced exam, reading part six. And so we had to read four reviews, and they were all about a book on translation. And we had to find in the text similar reviews, point of view between the reviewers, and find exactly the similar expression or expression with a similar meaning that reminds us of the opinion of another reviewer. And then
And you and Alma particularly did very well. Yeah, there was a lot of vocabulary that you didn't know, but the interesting thing going through that vocabulary is that sometimes we go off at a tangent, but we looked at synonyms for those. Sometimes we look at a word and say, well, what's a phrasal verb? What's the idiomatic way of saying that? So we try to cover a lot. Alma, what does to go off at a tangent mean?
To deviate from the path of, so let's say to start moving from a topic to another.
Yes.
And with
I'm very fond of doing that, aren't I? I'm always moving on to something else. Oh, and it occurs to me, let's talk about that. So, and eventually we do return to the main subject. All right, you three, thank you for staying behind and chatting. You will now be famous as I publish this in the Facebook groups and on YouTube. It's been a great session today. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay.
thank you very much.
It certainly was challenging. All right. I shall see you. Presumably I'll see you on Tuesday.
yes,
Jan,
quite likely, yeah.
Whenever I got some time, Steve. So it was my pleasure helping you, and see you later, Alligator.
Okay. Guys, I have to go now.
you can have a single.
They're waiting for
All
me
right,
for
lovely.
a walk.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
But-
You're welcome. I'll see you next Sunday.
Okay,
Take
see you
care.
on Thursday then,
Bye-bye,
I guess.
Alma.
Okay,
See you.
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.